Hello, everybody. It is Monday, March 28th, 2022, and it is 9 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time. And welcome to the most metal Monday night. Tonight, my guests will be supposedly um, Greyhawk. So let's do this real quick. I don't have 11,000 subscribers. All right, everybody. My guests tonight are Greyhawk from Seattle. Let's welcome to the show. Oh, wait, they're not here yet. So, yeah, I'm starting this a little bit later than normal because, my guests are on the West Coast, and they said they would, this time would work for them, but they're not here. Um, I want to show their video, but you know what? If I get some kind of copyright strike, I'll just delete the whole video if they don't join me. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you. They are on Fighter Records. I think Fighter Records is in France, but here is Fighter Records YouTube page. So they don't have their own YouTube, Greyhawk, or at least I couldn't find it. But they put out a new EP called Call of the Hawk. Oh wait, Darren's here.
I am here. Sorry for the delay, man. I'm just having trouble with some of my passwords.
Oh man, passwords, smash words. They always get to me.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, bro. I was just about to play one of your lyric videos, but I was a little iffy on the copyright issue.
Nope, you can go right ahead, man. It's all good. We own all of it.
Okay, cool. Because I saw that it was from the Orchid or the Orchard Fighter Records through Orchard Music. So
it's fine. We own all the rights to it, so it's all good.
All right, cool. Well, now that you're here, I can tell everybody you are the bass player for the band. You were the founder of the band, right?
Also correct.
Songwriter?
We all kind of write it. I guess Jesse, our guitar player, is the principal riff writer. Our singer Rev is the principal lyric writer. Some of those guys might be along in a bit. But yeah, I contribute to the writing as well.
What about Queen Diamond, Jacqueline?
She's our newest member, and she is definitely probably going to be putting more of her writing stamp on the next album that we do. By the time she'd come along, we pretty much had everything already written for the new EP and everything. So she joined us, I guess, last summer 2021.
Yeah, so I'm not on Facebook anymore. I deleted that shit. It's
smart.
It's terrible. But I was Facebook friends with her for a good while, and when the thing happened, well, we don't have to talk too much about what happened, but
sure.
When the thing happened, kind of news broke, and I was like, oh crap, that's the band Jacqueline is in,
Yeah.
And I already knew, your music. I had listened to Keepers of the Faith, and I was just like, shit, man.
Yeah.
So
it was pretty wild. That's for sure. It was wild summer fall last year. That's for sure.
But. Yeah. So yeah. For those that don't know, you guys are in Seattle. You don't really tour a whole lot, but you just kind of play around the Pacific Northwest, right?
Yeah. We we used to get out a little bit more before COVID. We used to we try to get out of state as much as we can. We played in Canada quite a bit because that's where I'm from originally.
Okay.
And we get down to Oregon a few times, but we hadn't gone super far at that point in time. But we try not to just play in Seattle. But yeah, you're right. Like hit the Pacific Northwest a lot back then.
That's the one corner of the continental United States I have not been to. I've been everywhere else basically except for up there. Though I am here in Seattle right now, obviously.
Yeah, clearly you are.
But so I mean, I wanted to have you on about the music, but just to get this out of the way,
Sure.
you made worldwide headlines, stopping an active shooter, risking
Yes.
your own life as a fucking hero, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
You know?
Yeah, it was just there was just basically the cliff notes of it. There's after the show, there was a belligerent, intoxicated individual who showed up and started causing problems, and he wound up being heavily armed. And I confronted him, and in the process of confronting him and keeping him out and away from the crowd at the venue, he put one round in my left leg. So he ran off and was subsequently arrested by the police after that. So yeah, it was quite a thing, and yeah, it blew up way bigger than I ever thought it would. I kind of thought it would probably make its rounds in the underground metal scene and the scene back here, but I didn't really know it was going to blow up that huge.
I mean, Dave Grohl let you use his throne.
Yeah, he did. That was the thing was a blessing and a curse. It was very cool, but it was a pain in my ass. It's like that thing is big, dude. It's real big. It wouldn't fit in my house. And full disclosure, it was tarped in my backyard for a while because I couldn't get it in my house.
Well, one of my yeah, I'll just ignore his comment for now. I see your comments there. But dude, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you made it through it. And you know, it's a terrible thing that happened. And hopefully that person that did it, will pay,
Yeah, that's all pending. We'll see how that
Yeah.
plays out, but
Yeah.
that'll be part of the process.
But did you get to meet Dave?
Yeah, I did get to meet him when the Foo Fighters were in town here, and I returned the throne of rock to him. So we've chatted a few times. We've chatted a few times since. He's a great guy.
Yeah, yeah. I got to meet him once a long time ago, and he was really nice. Nothing. I don't think anybody could ever say anything bad about Dave Grohl or any member of the Foo Fighters. And we just lost Taylor the other day.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
that was a
thing.
major bummer, dude. That was a major bummer.
I'm sorry. I don't want to come on here and just be like, bummer, make people. That's not the point of the show. The point of the show is to promote your band, but I just wanted to get that out of the way,
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I knew about your band before, and this just kind of, I don't know. Did you notice like a lot more interest in your band after that? Was it a weird kind of like?
It was like it was kind of like we were in the spotlight for a good solid 15. It was like a 15 minutes thing. Like it was kind of real heavy for a few weeks, and then people were kind of on to the next thing, which I was pretty happy about. Like the whole being out, being the guy as a bass player is kind of weird, like being the guy that was like in the spotlight. It was kind of like it wasn't the most comfortable thing for me, if that makes sense. Like,
no, I get it. Yeah.
I rolled with it. People wanted to talk to me, and I figured if someone was going to tell a story, it might as well be me. That I can kind of control what's being said about me. But it was a little awkward being in the spotlight for those reasons. You got some more eyes on the band for a while, but we were doing pretty good before. We were signed, and we were
right.
We had a good solid fan base before that, so we were doing good before. But it gave us a little shot in the arm for a minute, and then it kind of went back to normal.
I actually, I remember speaking to you before about trying to get you guys on the show,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of forgot about it for a little while, and then I had Jason from Hellion Prime on a couple weeks ago, and he mentioned you guys. And I was like, yeah, I've been meaning to have them on the show. That's when I emailed you. I found your Bandcamp and I emailed you because I was like, well, fuck, I'm not on Facebook. I can't like Facebook message you. So
yeah. Helium Prime's a great band too. I've seen them a few times, so they're pretty awesome.
Yeah, I know he's got a new project with it's the one of the former singers of Hellion Prime who he lives in Europe. And now he's the new singer for Glory Hammer.
Oh wow, cool!
That's
a good gig, man. We played with Glory Hammer once, and that was kind of like our coming out party in Seattle, so to speak. didn't really. Oh, like I have to plead a little bit of ignorance on that one. I didn't really know who Glory Ham was before that
Sure.
gig. It's just that type. I love power metal, but I'm more of an old school power metal guy. Like
Hmm.
Halloween and Gamma Ray and Agent Steel and bands like that are kind
Yeah.
of more my speed. But we got asked by the venue to open the show, and it's like a Tuesday, and it's 7 o'clock. It was a 7 o'clock opening spot, and I'm like, or a 6:30 even. It was really early on a Tuesday, and I'm like, well, it's the venue's good to us, so we'll do them a favor and we'll take this spot because it
Yeah.
just opened up. We took it on a week's notice, and we get to this gig, and there was a lineup of people outside the door and around the corner and down the street waiting to get in, and we were kind of like, what's going on here? And then we got in and we sound checked, and they opened the doors. We were the first band on, and the people just flooded in, and everyone went right to the front of the stage, and we started playing, and people were like really, really into it, and
Nice.
that kind of was when I feel like around this area we kind of got put on the map, and a lot more eyes got on us because we got that gig. So, Glory Hammer kind of, I got a special place in my heart for that band because they really that gig kind of kicked us off around here.
That's really cool, man. I mean, me personally, I never really listened to a lot of power metal until I went to Wacken in 2019, and Glory Hammer played, but then tons of other power metal bands played, and like that's the perfect music to listen to in a big open field,
Oh yeah.
with 80,000 other people, you
Yep,
know.
absolutely, dude.
So
It is. It is. Yeah.
and like they had, I went, I like all kinds of metal. Don't get me wrong. I listen to all kinds of metal. I have all kinds of
Mhm.
different metal bands on the show, but um, I was interested to see some death metal bands, and it's like I really like seeing these death metal bands at smaller venues.
Yeah.
It's like it's not like I really was able to compartmentalize like what genre of metal I prefer at certain places.
That's interesting. And European fest crowds for power metal kind of hit different.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
sure.
a different ball game over there. I went to Europe to be a spectator at a show for the first time in 2019 as well. I went with some friends of mine to see Manowar play in Frankfurt, and
Nice.
it was mind blowing. It was just the difference in the energy and the crowd, and it was just Manowar. There was no other bands, and they sold out this giant 32,000 seat music hall.
Wow. Oh, oh, you're frozen on me. You're frozen. If you can still hear me, if you can if you okay, now you're not frozen. All right.
I think there was just a little blip in the internet service.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, it's for stuff like classic and power metal, anything that's rooted in the '80s and big anthems or melodies, Europe really is the spot. It's a cool. I encourage
Yeah.
everybody from over here to go to see a festival or see a big band that they love in Germany or Italy or Spain or something at least once because it's really cool.
So I have ticket, right after that 2019 Vakken, I bought the tickets for 2020, and that obviously got pushed back to 2021, and that got pushed back to 2022. So I have tickets to go this year, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it. I might have to. I've got some personal. So this is my cat Demu. She likes
Nice.
to, yeah, she likes to make
Place
an
to make
appearance.
appearance.
Yeah,
That's cool.
so
Nice.
so yeah, man, I really hope to go, man. I really hope to go. I'd been meaning to come up to Seattle too, because like I said, I've never been up that way. I have a good friend that lives out there too. So
It's cool out here, man. I mean, I've lived here in this city for 5 years now, I guess, and I dig it. It's changed a lot. We especially in Seattle, there's a lot of big money here.
yeah.
There's Amazon and Facebook and Microsoft and all these big corporations here. So there's a lot of big money, but it's still a real cool city.
So you said you moved there from Canada.
I did.
Where'd you stay in Canada?
I was most recently in Canada. I was living in Vancouver, BC, so
Okay.
not too far away. I met a woman and moved down here for her basically, and then just kind of started in music. I met Jesse, our guitar player. Probably, I think I met him. Well, it was a Craigslist thing. Like, I was looking for bands to join when I came to Seattle, and there's this guy had this ad out for like classical power metal band, Yngwie Malmsteen, Racer X, this kind of stuff, and he had videos of himself playing all these songs, and I'm like, Wow. Okay, that's wild. You know, because this guy, like, I was like, well, I sent him a message, say, hey, I'll be down there in like, I think this was August. I said, I'll be down there in October. You know, if you still are looking for people to play with, you know, we should jam together. And sure enough, he still was. So we jammed together, and you know, we tried to get this band going in 2016, but it really didn't happen. We had a couple lineups that just, for various reasons, just didn't click. You know, it just wasn't the right fit. And we had a kind of a solid lineup going into 2017, and it fizzled out. It didn't work, and then I kind of quit. I actually quit Greyhawk. You know, it wasn't called Greyhawk then, but I quit first time, and then I joined a band called Skeletor from around these parts.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
So my mom just my mom's watching. So nice. She said, "Nice shirt," and it says "Destroy the Bourgeoisie."
I like it.
So, there we go.
Yeah, so I was in a band called Skeletor, and we started doing our thing, and you know, I was in that band for, you know, I was in that band up until COVID, right, basically, and you know, we kind of made the decision that, you know, I was more focused on Greyhawk than I was on them, which was true, and so I decided to put my energy to Greyhawk. But yeah, I remember I was just doing Skeletor, and then I had a barbecue at my house, and you know, everyone had a few drinks, and Jesse was over, and I was like, "Hey, man, we never should have stopped playing in that band. You know, we got to get this going." And just kind of, but it was just kind of drunk talk. I didn't put too much stock into it, right? And you know, then like a week later, he shows up with a couple other musicians on my doorstep, and he's like, "Hey, I got a lineup." And I was like, "Okay, I guess we're doing this." And then
Nice.
we just ran with it.
And then how did you guys get signed to Fighter Records?
Fighter Rec. I basically so we did Ride Out in 2018. And we released it digitally, and then that got picked up by Swords and Chains Records, which was a nice help to us. But I really wanted to, after going to see Manowar in Germany, I really wanted to be on a label in Europe, a label with like a base over there.
Yeah.
And so we recorded Keepers of the Flame, and
which, by the way, all killer, no filler, man, from start to end. There you go. There you go.
But yeah, so we recorded that, and I basically started just banging down the door of every record label that I could find, every single one. I was just banging on their door and sending them, you know, the demo, and sending them, you know, saying, "Come on, like, we got this thing. Let's see, you want to do this?" And there's offers from a few labels, but Fighter was the most enthusiastic about it. Dave Gonzalez, Dave Rotten, guy who runs the label, he runs a Extreme Music out of Spain as well, which is more of a death metal label, which I think used to be Revulse Records in the 90s. And I remember buying stuff off their label in the 90s. He was the most enthusiastic about it. Like, he wanted to put it out on vinyl and cassette and everything and give it the full treatment. And I was like, you know, sometimes even if the other labels are a little bit bigger or a little bit more well-known, you want to go with the guy who's most enthusiastic about the product, because they're going to do the best job for you. Like, if we get on, our theory was, if we got on Fighter Records, this guy loves the record. He's going to actually give it a push. He's going to give it attention. And if we go on a bigger label, who knows? We might just get lost in the shuffle.
Sure.
So the idea was to go there. So we did that, and we did our new EP with them as well. And I think we owe them one more record, and then we'll just have to see what happens from there. Cool,
man. Well, let's show some of your videos, man.
Sure, let's do it.
I like to do a little commentary track of
okay.
bands. So
that's fun. Let's do that.
Share screen. Chrome tab. Here's the I was kind of showing this before you jumped on, because I wasn't sure if you were gonna make it. But so this is I couldn't find, I don't know if you guys have your own YouTube, but I found your stuff on Fighter Records. That's how
we do, but there's not as much of our stuff as there. We have some stuff here, and we have some stuff on New Wave of Traditional Heavy Metal Full Albums channel.
Right. I did see that. I wanted to show your Frozen Star video. It's an official video clip.
Sure.
Let's do that. Let's just go full screen.
It's probably the most power metal sounding song we have.
I mean, yeah, just start off shredding, you know,
Yeah.
like straight up shreds. What's his name? What's the singer's name?
Rev.
Rev?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect, you know?
Yeah. The funny thing is about this video too is this was shot in Canada. My friend Azzy Bonyadi, she shot this for us. And we had come up there. We were playing some shows. We were doing some dates with Ross the Boss from Manowar. And we also played a couple shows before this with a band called Gatekeeper on Vancouver Island.
Okay.
And the place we stayed before this, it was freezing cold, and we stayed in this like kind of like barn thing with no heat, and we got no sleep, so we just drank whiskey to stay warm. And we were all unshowered and gross and tired, and kind of shaking off the cold on this from this when we did this video. So we were all just absolutely miserable during the shoot, And anyone who shot a music video knows that in a lot of ways it's harder than performing because you got to mind to this song, and because it's gotta be louder than the drums. It's just blasting through this massive PA. So don't do what we did. Make sure you're not hungover for your music video shoot because it's a bad vibe.
There's your glory shot right there.
Yep, exactly.
And does your drummer use that gong during the video?
Yep, he will.
Yeah.
Not during this video, no, but during the set he does. That's a great solo. What I really like about Jesse's playing is he's a great shredder, but he's not just all about scales and sweeps. He's, he knows how to throw a little rock and roll in there and some classic licks, Very musical.
Yeah, I mean that's a fine detail.
Yeah.
Sure. One thing I like about this song and Don't Wait for the Wizard, it's real positive.
Yeah, that was a conscious decision. I mean, it's just, and that's kind of how Rev is a positive guy. He's just he's a good guy to talk to if you're in a bad mood. He's become one of my best friends, and that's just a reflection of his personality too. Because he does all the lyrics. Oh, here we go. This hilarious freeze frame here. Nate's face, our drummer's face coming up here is amazing. There. Every time, it just cracks. It gets me every time. I wanted to make it the still shot of the video, but the label is like, we thought about that too, but we're not going to do that.
Oh man, that's great, man.
Yeah, I love that little 1 second clip, and just it's wonderful.
That's really cool. I love that. Here, I'm gonna like that. There we go. Your 505th like on that.
Deadly. Hell yeah.
So, yeah, and then so you put out a month ago. You put out the 5-song EP on February 8th.
Yeah, we did.
So you got a lyric video, and then you just have the static video. But let's show the lyric video, because then you'll be able to see the words that Reb wrote.
Sure. Yeah, this is a really cool song too.
Call of the Hawk. Yeah, this is the title track for the EP.
I like these lyric videos are a thing. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, every band like making a music video there's a lot involved. You were just talking about being hungover in a barn in Canada, making that other video. This one you can just kind of animate a few things, and it's not nearly as involved. And they still look really cool,
Yeah, they do. Especially now that, a lot of times when you're hanging out with your friends and showing each other music, everyone does it on YouTube. You can go on YouTube because you can just access everything. So it gives you something to look at while you're hanging with your buddies sharing music.
Right. Yeah, I know a lot of people. I mean, most bands do at least one lyric video for their albums now. You know? There you go. There's your promo shot.
Yep, that was at a park in Seattle.
Okay.
I was still on crutches at that time. I was in a lot of pain during this photo shoot. This was actually the day of the first gig we did with the Girl Throne. We opened for my friends Unleash the Archers in town. It was an amazing gig.
Yeah, do you know Unleash the Archers?
I was in Unleash the Archers briefly.
Okay, well then there you go. Of course you'd know them if you were in the band.
I was like never like an official member, but I filled in for gigs for them here and there.
Gotcha.
When they needed someone. But I've known those guys since like 2007.
Okay.
My old thrash band in Canada toured with them a little bit around Canada back in the day.
Very cool, man.
They're wonderful people.
Yeah, when I interviewed Jason it was Planewalker, one of the videos had the vocalist for Unleash the Archers, and so Sozo is the singer for Planewalker, and one of the old singers for Hellion Prime, another one of the old singers for Hellion Prime, and then another vocalist from a band I hadn't heard of in Canada. It was a pretty epic. It was like a 17-minute long song and music video. I don't know if you got a chance to see it.
I did, yeah. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. It was really cool. So there you go. Taken from the Call of the Hawk EP. Oh, March 8th.
No, that's wrong.
Came out.
It was in February.
It was in February. Okay.
It was just already out, so I was like, yeah, screw it.
Yeah.
This is the quality part.
I was jamming to this, going to the grocery store today.
All right, grocery shopping metal. I like it.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. And what is that? Is that a scepter or a sword that Reb holds?
It's like it's a staff. It's a funny story. We were playing in Kelso, Washington a few years ago, and Rev calls me and he's like, or he sends me a message. We're on our way down. He was driving separate from me, and he's like, "I got something for the set. It's either going to be really awesome or really stupid, or maybe both." And I was like, whenever he says he's got this stupid idea, I know whatever he comes up with is going to be bad. So he produces this staff, and when he slams it on the ground on the bottom, it lights up, like the crystal inside lights up. And
that's cool, dude.
Yeah, it's deadly. People love it, So it's.
I saw it had the crystal on top. So
yeah, the thing lights up. It's a pretty cool prop. He found it at some big flea market mall in Chehalis, Washington. And some guy just makes these staffs, and it made me laugh, and I was like, dude, that's so cool.
That is awesome. That's really cool, man. I mean, that fits. I mean, it's like folk art from Washington.
Exactly.
It is very power metal-y, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Video by DP Ray.
Yeah, he's a guy that the label knows. He's a really talented animator and music video guy. And my Aunt Gramuza is a friend of mine from Canada. She did our artwork, and she's, I think, one of the best artists going as far as metal stuff goes. And she's going to be Cat's going to be out of the bag soon, but we're doing our second beer collaboration with Hop Capital Brewing out of Yakima. They're making Greyhawk beer. I can't say the details yet, but it's going to be a tasty brew. They're doing a full I'm a total beer nerd, so I don't know if people understand how big this is, but they're doing a full 30 barrel batch of it, which is a lot, basically translates to a hell of a lot.
Nice.
And yeah, and she did the can art for it. And it is the coolest beer can art I've ever seen in my entire life. It's badass.
Well, I mean, how much of it are you going to keep aside, or you can just keep some of the cans, empty cans?
Oh, we can't. We did the first one. We did one called Wisdom of the Wizard with them in 2020.
Okay.
It wasn't as cool as we thought it was going to be because the pandemic hit, and we were going to do a release show at the brewery and do a whole bunch of promo for it, and it just didn't work out. But this time we're doing a bigger batch because we're going to be able to do all that stuff, and it's really exciting. Hop Capital Brewing's out of Yakima, Washington, which is, if people don't know, that's where all the hops for beer are grown in America, basically. 80% of them. It's where all the hops grow, and they're a really cool brewery. And but we're not going the typical Pacific Northwest thing. We're not doing an IPA, so it'll be something a little different. I think it's gonna be cool. But yeah, Angela.
Is it going to be a coffee stout?
No, it's actually going to be a very, very classic old world beer, which
Okay.
is pretty. It's be something pretty different that you don't see too much anymore. So
Like,
that's pretty cool.
like, so not like a lager or a pilsner, but something a
Similar
little.
along
Yeah.
those lines. Along those lines.
But you can't say. You
You,
can't say.
not
You can't
yet. I
say.
can't. You're in the
Gotcha.
ballpark though.
Okay. All right.
You're in
I'll
the,
leave it
you're,
at.
in the, you're even in the right country. So
Okay.
you're
Yeah.
even in the
Yeah.
right
Yeah. Yeah.
country.
Well, I stopped drinking like 4.5. Well, not quite 4.5 years ago.
Yeah,
Just for health reasons.
for sure.
But like I still appreciate beer. I was hanging out at a bar yesterday,
Mhm.
and I was drinking ginger ale. It was weird.
Nice. Yeah. I like me some gin. I had a ginger ale earlier today. I had a
Yeah.
Canada Dry. It was
Yeah,
good.
that's what I had. That's what I
Yeah,
had, exactly. So
yeah.
so there you go. Um, so yeah, so that's really cool. So are you gonna do so you can't say too much about the beer, but can you say much about the release? Like,
Yeah,
is there gonna be a release show? Can you say
yeah.
anything?
So we are going to do a release show at Hop Capital Brewing, um, and they actually have a sister brewery in Portland that has a tap room, and we're going to do another show down there, just to kind of release the thing. And we're actually we go to just much like the last beer, we are going to go to the brewery and help them brew it, and like we're really going to do it. You know, it was one of the things last because I brew my own beer at home, and I have like a small, I have a 10-gallon all grain brewing setup at the house. So when we went out there, like the brewmaster was like, "How much do you guys want to do?" I'm like, "I'll do as much as you let me. Like I'm into this." So we milled the grain. He told us what to do, obviously, but we dialed up all the knobs on the controllers, and we cleaned out the tanks after, and threw all the hops in. And one of the other brewers who came by was like, "Oh, you guys didn't just show up at the end and dump one bucket of hops in and say this is a collaboration. You actually helped." I'm like, "Yeah, man. Like we're here to, if this is a collaboration, we're gonna get in and do our part." So
Right on,
it's
man.
it's fun, and it'll be part of a slew of shows we have coming up. We have a really, really busy month coming up. A really busy couple months actually. So
When is the beer release show? I can put it up on the screen real
we're
quick.
not totally sure yet, but I'm
Okay.
thinking it'll probably be June. I'm guessing probably June at some point.
Okay, so here we go.
There we go. Perfect.
All right, so I can pull up your Bandcamp here.
Yep.
Um, let's see here. Share screen, Chrome tab. Here's your Bandcamp. So you can see the cool artwork for your albums.
Yep.
I can get this. Oh, what happened? I clicked it. Why isn't that doing anything? There we go. There we go. Look at that.
Yeah, that's Gramuza did that one.
Here.
She's a badass. I kind of had that image in my brain, and I just kind of described it to her, and she exceeded my expectations. It's pretty cool.
So what is that? What is that building there?
It's just like some. It's not really anything. I just like described like, I don't know, just like I got our, because this barbarian dude has been kind of on all our album covers, and I was like, our barbarian dude with his fire sword, but this time it's like a lightning sword, and he's standing on a cliff looking at this mountain space with spires, and there's a giant hawk with like laser eyes there or whatever. Like she's like, "Yeah, sounds cool. I can do that." And the trees kind of look very like much like the trees do out here, which was I thought was pretty neat.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a not a huge story behind it or anything like super deep. It just was something badass that I thought it would look cool, basically.
No, man, it looks badass, and yeah, I see those trees. I would think definitely the Northwest or Minnesota or something, someplace more northern than here.
Yeah, fair. Where are you coming out of right now?
Houston.
Oh, Houston, cool, nice.
Yeah.
I have yet to go to Texas, but it's on my list. I want to go check it out.
Yeah, well, it's a really big place.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, it's pretty big. But yeah, the CP was this was probably like the most fun I've ever had. Like it's probably I wouldn't know if it's the most fun. Yeah, it was very fun, but it was probably the easiest piece of music I've ever made in my entire life, and I've made upwards of 10, 11 albums in my existence. This was just, it flowed really well. We really had it's the second time we worked with the same engineer, who is Darren Dom. He has a studio here in Renton, Washington, which is a town just southeast of Seattle. called Magic Mix Studios, and he's a really really talented guy. And he did Keepers of the Flame, and I think we kind of told him that we'd be back, and he really did a lot of homework on how that sounded, and listen. I think he clearly listened to a lot of metal, and because I think the production on Call of the Hawk vastly exceeds Keepers of the Flame as far as clarity and just volumes and tones. We also learned a lot of things too. We did a lot of different things, especially rhythm section wise. Me and Nate changed our gear up completely. We changed how we tuned our gear. We changed how we dialed in our sounds, everything. I think it made for a much crisper, cleaner sound. And yeah, I'm really, really proud of this EP. People seem to be really liking it so far. Maybe even more than I thought they would, especially since it's just an EP.
Yeah. So
why did
you decide to go with an EP instead of another full length?
Good question. So basically, we had a real tough time during lockdown. A lot of people were, there's going to be all this music written. We were really not inspired. Everyone was pretty bummed out. Lockdown restrictions in these parts were really, really strict at various periods. There was times that we couldn't go anywhere. Our rehearsal space was locked up. We couldn't even go there. The only places you could go were work if your work was considered essential, or you could go to the grocery store or the doctor, and you only go to the doctor if it's an emergency, or not yet to go home. So it was pretty depressing. And we wrote a bunch of songs. We also had a member change. Our old guitar player Enrico quit because he wanted to go work on his other band. And shout out to his other band, Drastic Down. They're a rock and roll band out of Seattle. Enrico's a good guy. It was a very amicable split. He left. We hired another guitar player. That just really didn't work. He was a very talented guy. He's a very nice guy. I don't have anything bad to say about him, but just personality wise, it just didn't jive. So we also, fired him from the band in the middle of the pandemic. And we brought Jacqueline on towards the end. I guess towards the end of the real strict lockdown. We brought her in early summer, late spring 2021. So she's been in the band less than a year. And we kind of got to around September, after the infamous incident in Boise happened, and I was sitting around, nothing to do, just other than to think. And I got to thinking about these songs, and I started listening to all our demos that we'd written. And I was like, there's 5 really good songs here, and about 7 kind of crappy songs that aren't necessarily crappy, but they're not up to snuff with what we did to Keepers of the Flame. And the last thing you want to do is follow up a full-length debut that people really like with something that doesn't measure up. That's a career-limiting move. And so I said, well, we want to put something out. We don't want to have everyone forget about us. You got to put out content in this day and age when there's just so much music out there. So I said, well, let's just pick the 5 best songs, bang out an EP, throw the rest in the trash, and just move on, and start making a new record with a new lineup when we're ready to make a new record, which we're doing right now. But yeah, so then I called up Fighter Records and said, hey, we're going to go in the studio and smash out this EP. Do you want to release it? And they said, sure. It's extra on top of our contract. We owe them another 35 plus minute piece of music.
Okay.
And the EP is only 22 minutes, but they were down. They said they'd put it out. So we did. It's like, if you don't, we're going to do it anyway and put it out ourselves. And so they said, no, we'll put it out. So that's what that brings us to now. We put this EP out, and people really, really love it. It's really cool. It's sold a lot. I mean, we're almost out of CDs. It's crazy. Think about running out of CDs in 2022. That's nuts. But it's really cool how much people have taken to it. The music video for Take the Throne, people really took to that one as well, which was cool. But
where is that? Because I didn't. Is that on?
That was on New Wave of Traditional Heavy Metal full albums.
Let's find that.
Sure.
If you're saying the video is really cool, we can't just let people hang
No,
there.
this was a cool shoot. So this is the first ever time they made a music video, and it's taken more than a day to shoot. It was kind of the first one we ever put any money behind. I've ever put any money behind, as far as significant money.
Yeah, let me. I got it queued up here. Let me. Oh, come on. Oh no. Sorry, I've got a cat in my lap, so it makes it a little bit.
I get it. You don't want to disturb the cat. I like cats a lot too. I have one of my own. I don't know where she's at, but
well, I have two cats, but one leaves me alone and one doesn't.
yeah, there we go.
There we go.
That's a good face.
Is this another park?
This is a property where the director knew the guy. It's out in a town called Duval, Washington, which is probably like an hour and a half northeast of Seattle. I want to say it's gorgeous up there.
Those women have 6 tits. Did you see that on the bench? Like the legs of the bench?
Yep. Dude, this poor lady, it was freezing cold this day. And this poor lady was like she's a professional actress, and she was really sweet and really cool. But she's from California, like she works actress in LA, and it was cold, and she was so cold, dude. Like I felt so bad for her, but she was really good about it and really tough and really professional.
So did you like fly her up from California to do this?
Sure I'm not. It's possible, or she was in town shooting something else.
Okay.
But yeah, the director handled that.
I mean, it doesn't look super cold. Like Jesse looks like he's on a beach vacation.
Yeah, he always does.
I love that, man. That power metal. Yeah, I love it.
So
you guys are druids,
yeah.
Druid stage there.
We take the Judas Priest approach to stage movies. We would call them the shapes.
Yeah.
And when a singer does that one, I call that one. I call that one catching a fly. That's like catching a fly.
I fucking love it though, man. I really do.
And this guy here, who's got the armor, and there's 2 other guys you're going to see later. They're part of a group called the Seattle Knights, and they do sword fighting and reenactments and stuff. And these guys were so cool, man. Their armor was amazing, and you're going to see a fight scene coming up. Okay. And these guys wailed on each other, dude. Like they just they were rehearsing it like half speed, and then when it was action time, like these guys just wailed on each other. I was like, holy crap! They're like, well, we got to make it look good. We're not going to show up here and like, half-ass this. I'm like, well, I appreciate it.
Are they like Renaissance Festival guys?
A little bit of that, but they focus on like a lot of actual combat stuff. So.
That's cool, man. The druid like harmonies there.
Yeah, that was a thing we kept. The rep kind of came up with that almost in the studio. This is the last song that was written for the EP, yeah, he kind of came up with that idea like the day of the recording, and it worked out really well. Another great solo coming up. Yeah, these dudes were so cool, man. Like they really put. I mean, sure they got paid, but it was just some band they never heard of, and they really put all the full effort into it, and I'm really grateful that they did. They really cool. Yeah, they played it up, and they didn't just come out and just and ass around and just make a paycheck. They came out and really wanted to make it look cool.
I mean, she looks real into it too.
Oh yeah, she was a pro.
Whoa!
Great falsetto by Rev.
Yeah, absolutely. It's real Iron Maiden there.
Yep.
I'm
Like,
just waiting to see if you see any practical effects, blood splatter.
But yeah, they'll it's fun to do stuff like this where it's cheesy, but you know you're not like obviously there's some cheese to power metal, and you know we're doing like fantasy reenactment stuff, but you know if you're gonna do that, like this dude, when he kicked him, man, he booted this guy, went flying. And he legitimately kicked him. It wasn't like you know this little I'll kind of miss you. He's like he booted him. Big swerve.
It's like what's going on? This is the part of the song that makes men weak.
Yep.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
I hadn't seen this before, so this is new to me.
Nice.
Oh yes. He's like, what? Well, I didn't do that. Please wink. Oh.
Oh, it's,
I hope
there's,
she go
there's still some more coming.
Fair enough.
There's the big swerve.
Uh-oh.
You're gonna get his ass.
Oh no. Oh, we're gonna get a scanners moment here. Not quite, but
a little bit of Alka-Seltzer went in that blood too to make it foamy.
Wicked. Don't trust women that sit on benches with legs that have 6 tits each.
Yeah, exactly. These poor guys, like, these guys had to lay there forever in the fucking dirt while they shot this. I was like, oh man, I feel for them. I gotta take these guys out for a beer after or something because they had to lay there forever.
Hopefully there weren't ants.
I'm pretty sure there was some ants out there at some point.
Oh man,
it was a blast to shoot that. Yeah, it was a blast. See, she had to walk. They didn't know how long they're gonna do it, so she had to walk all the way down there, and these poor fuckers just laid in the dirt while they're framing it. I'm like, oh man.
Elise Fosma.
Yeah, I think she's a great actress. So, she's just starting out. I'm hoping that we'll see some stuff from her. In her acting career because she was really, really chill and really talented. So. It was a fun weekend. It was a blast to make that video, man. It was really fun. Usually, I hate making music videos. Like I've always hated doing it because miming along to things is obnoxious. But that was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was cool, man. I love it. And your name it's from like Dungeons and Dragons, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So like power metal and Dungeons and Dragons. It fits. It all fits.
Exactly. And like I said before, we're doing kind of what people would say is cheesy stuff, nerdy stuff. But if you do it with conviction and you don't do it in like a mocking sense,
right.
Then it comes across. And that's true of anything. You can as long as you're framing it, you're selling it, and you're doing it with integrity. Then then it's cool. And I kind of feel that's kind of how I feel about bands in metal. Especially in like the new wave of traditional heavy metal, which they're calling it, which I don't know how I feel about that term, but it is what it is. It's stuck and it's here. So there's a lot of bands in there that are really awesome, and a lot of them that I don't. And I'm not going to crap on anybody because I don't do that. I would say there's a lot of bands that I don't care for. I don't ever say that anybody sucks or that anyone is terrible or shouldn't do that because you know what, like. If you got enough guts to get up on that stage and get in that studio and bare your soul and do it, I got respect for you.
Yeah.
Like, I have instant respect for you if you're willing to get up there and do it because it's not easy and it takes a lot of commitment. But I mean, my point is that there's the difference between the bands that I like in that scene versus the ones that don't do it for me is the integrity. There's some bands who play 80s style rock and metal and they're not reinventing the wheel. But, they're putting their own spin on it, their own staple on it. They're putting their own sound to it. And they're doing an homage to music that's been done for decades, but they're doing it like a send up. And then there's some that just kind of either try to copy it and bring it back, which doesn't work, or kind of do it in like a mocking sense. Like, look at me, I'm wearing pit vipers and I have 7 bullet belts
Yeah.
and spandex and whatever, and it's haha, it's funny. Like, I don't like that, because I kind of feel like that's mocking my favorite style of music, and I don't care for that. Some people like it, and that's cool, and I don't care if they like it. If they're having a good time, I'm not going to ruin their party, but it's just not for me. And like, if like any, and the same with any band. Like, if you play death metal, if you play, if you play new metal, I mean, even if it's like a style that I don't particularly care for, if you do it like, if it comes from here and you do it with integrity, I'm probably going to be into it. I'll probably be able to at least watch a set and go, that was cool. You know.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. It does come across when someone's being phony or someone's being sincere, without a
Yeah,
doubt.
absolutely, absolutely.
Without a doubt. Well, man, there's one thing I love to do. I don't get to do it every episode, but if you have time,
Sure.
uh, I like. Where were you? How old were you in 1991?
11 years old.
11 years old. All right, so yeah, you were born 1980. I'm a couple years. I'm a couple years older than you. 1991. A lot of things in music changed, right?
Yeah.
That's the year Nirvana killed, killed glam rock and everything, they say. But let's change this, and I'll get a little bit closer so you can see rock cards. You ever seen
Okay.
these before?
I have not. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, so these came out in 1991, and it's pretty interesting. Um, there's every pack has a sticker, and every pack I've opened so far has had the exact same sticker. It's an Iron Maiden Tail Gunner sticker.
Nice. Great song.
Yeah, without a doubt. So, and then there was a contest. Win an expense-paid trip for 2 for 4 days and 3 nights at the 1992 Rock Cards concert of your choice anywhere in the world.
Wow.
You'll even have the opportunity to meet your favorite group or artist backstage. Plus, you can win other great prizes, including tour jackets, t-shirts, posters, patches, and more. To enter, just fill out the coupon below and mail it to us before February 1st, 1992.
Dang, we
And
need a
you
time
can
machine, bro.
you could send off for a catalog or a poster. A catalog was $1, and a poster was $3.50. That included postage and handling.
It's the good old days, man.
But so there's an address on here, and I actually looked that up last week. I looked it up. Now it's a indoor golf instruction place.
Times have changed.
Times have changed, yeah. But so we got rock and roll trading cards. Let's see how many of these guys you remember or know.
All right, let's go for it.
All right, first one. Steve Howe from Yes. Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
I have the green screen, so sometimes
okay. Oh yeah, man.
It
I mean,
goes
Chris
right
Squire is like one of the best bass players going, man. I mean, Chris Squire was a big influence on a lot of people, especially me. I mean, I played metal. I played bass lots of different ways. Finger plucking, slap and pop, with a pick. So Chris Squire was a huge influence, and Yes is a amazing project.
So he was also in Asia. Apparently.
Was he? I didn't know that.
It says other bands, Asia GTR. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I've heard of GTR. I've seen them in like collectors books and stuff, but I'm not familiar. But I didn't know he was in Asia. That's cool.
But what's really funny, the funny thing about this is they have the little hologram to prevent
Yep.
so it's
a real rock card. It's not a knockoff.
It's not a knockoff. All right, next up, we've got.
Oh, dude, yeah, absolutely, Gypsy Rhodes, man. Like I love me some Cinderella. It's a shame Tom Kiefer's voice is apparently really screwed up now with the way he was singing.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to say, but yeah, man. Like, what's that song? Shelter Me, Give Me Shelter. That was a great one. Nobody's Fool, of course, is a big hit. But yeah. Gypsy Rhodes is always a favorite of mine. Like I still listen to that song to this day.
So his profile, Cinderella's blonde bassist, like
Do they have more than one?
I don't know.
Or do they have a ginger bassist?
I don't know. Oh, this guy. This is actually a fitting picture. He's
Oh
one of the
yeah,
best known
yeah.
drummers around,
Oh
and
dude,
not necessarily all for drumming.
I watched a bit of that like Pam and Tommy show that's on Netflix or whatever or
Yeah,
Hulu.
I
Oh
didn't watch
god,
it.
it's terrible.
I didn't
Don't
watch
waste
it.
your time. I watched like 10 minutes because I just had morbid curiosity. But you know what, man? Like,
This picture, man. This is
oh
like
yeah,
the.
it sums him up. It's kind of like he's a character. Like, I still love those first two Crew records, man. They're
I
real
mean,
cool.
the dude was. I mean, he was a kid. He was a kid when he joined the band.
Yeah, he
You
was
know.
youngest one, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, they
So.
were. Yeah, they lit that scene on fire, dude.
Oh, and here's another guy that has been in the news recently
Uh oh.
for the wrong reasons. Another bass player.
Uh oh.
Uh,
Oh yeah, oh boy, yeah.
yeah.
All the things I thought I was gonna see last year, like David Ellison's penis, was not one of them.
Oh, thankfully I haven't seen
I
it.
did, and you know,
Thankfully, I have
dude,
not seen it.
when that happened, when that happened, you know,
I don't
like
want to.
somebody posted a Twitter link, and I was like, it's like whatever, and I clicked. I figured it'd be censored, but you kind of see it. It wasn't censored. Like, bam, there he is, like doing his thing, and I'm like, God damn it! Like, I'm not trying to see that this morning. It
No,
was like 7 in the morning.
I
was
didn't
like,
click any of that,
you're
dude. I
not gonna.
never wanted to see that.
No, I was like, I didn't like. How's your day? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not gonna have a normal day now after I see that at 7 in the morning. That was, but you know what? Great bass player.
Yeah,
I don't know the whole story. I try not to get too into the gossip, but
yeah.
yeah, I
I
hope he
think it
can.
was. I think it was like a blackmail situation.
Yeah, something like
Unfortunately,
that. But you know,
so
great player. Wrote some iconic bass lines.
I think this next guy. I think his wife was more famous than he was.
Okay.
But
Oh yeah, definitely Richie. Yeah, his
yeah,
wife was probably more famous than him, but you know, they were on top of the world for a while, dude. Like
yeah,
they were one of the biggest things going. I mean, everybody knows some Bon Jovi, whether you
yeah.
want to admit
Everybody.
it or not.
Yeah,
Everybody knows him.
I've never liked Bon Jovi,
Me either.
but
Me
yeah.
either. I think
Now
I had
here
a greatest hits growing up, but that's it.
here we go. This is I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, the best, one of the best, dude. One
I
of
mean,
the
it's a
best.
full. You got Steve at the end. Now, would you say that's your biggest influence? Would be Steve Harris?
No.
No.
So I love Steve and I love Iron Maiden. Steve Harris is one of the guys that made me want to play the bass. Actually, the first song I ever learned was The Trooper.
There you
Um,
go.
but my biggest influences for Greyhawk are guys like Jimmy Bain and you know, guys like that who just play a little more
They're standing in
locked
like
in.
a fake graveyard.
It's definitely a
Those are-
fake graveyard. That's a lot of fog machine going on behind
Yeah,
him. You
yeah.
know, I just recently saw Bruce Dickinson do a spoken word thing here in Seattle.
No way. How was
Yeah, and
that?
it was fun. I mean, it was like he just bounced off the walls for 3 hours. You know,
Well,
that
that's
guy
all he's
man's
ever
got
done. Yeah.
unbelievable energy, and the stories he told were hilarious. Like apparently, stories he was actually not the first pilot in Iron Maiden. Apparently, Nico McBrain was, and he told
Interesting.
horror stories of Nico McBrain flying him around in a Cessna, which were hysterical. But I got tickets to see them in September, and I'm really excited, even though they were way too much money.
Yeah, yeah. All right, next up,
Iggy Pop, man, the
Iggy Pop.
Stooges.
Yeah.
He's you know, he's like the Bruce Lee of rock and roll, man. Like he's just like that guy has like 2% body fat and he's always bleeding on stage somehow. You know, like he's just he somehow manages to get color, as they say in the wrestling business, and open himself up every time. You know?
Yeah. Oh man, get color.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hides razor blades in his wrists.
Yeah, exactly. He just he doesn't go hard way. He does it the easy way.
Oh. Here.
Oh, Warrant. Oh
Yeah.
man, dude. It's funny, like I remember I love some of their songs. Like Uncle Tom's Cabin is a badass song. That's a great tune. And it's funny how Janny Lane was always bitching that should have been the big hit and how much he hates Cherry Pie. It's like, bro, Cherry Pie made you millions. Don't hate
Yeah.
on it.
I mean, look how dopey he looked.
Oh yeah, he
Look
looks
at
like yeah, he doesn't look like he's on the same planet as the rest of them in that picture. But we always like, you know, one of the things Greyhawk does when we hang out, like a lot of times if we've had a few beverages, we'll start watching like hair metal videos from the 80s and stuff. And we really like to watch Down Boys by Warrant, because they do like that one shape where they like kind of rock their guitars back and forth and they all spin around in unison. It's just it's awesome. It's epic to watch.
Nice. All right. We've had the full. No, we've had somebody else in here's somebody else in Bon Jovi.
Oh yeah, there you go. There's another guy.
Can you see his name? I'm trying to get up there. David Bryan.
David. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the keyboardist from Bon Jovi, but yeah, no hate to Bon Jovi. He had lots of success. Not my thing, but no shade.
Hey, Miss Danny. I'm not sure who you are, but hey.
What's up?
I don't know. I like the cat mask or whatever.
Yep.
They're going on with that. Now this band got shit on by Beavis and Butthead all the time.
Oh god, is it gonna be Grim Reaper? No, Winger.
Yeah, and this is the drummer for Winger. This is
okay.
Rod Morgenstein.
So here's another funny story about Winger. Again, I was with my buddies and we were watching hair metal videos, and I told them we're gonna play a drinking game every single time. We were watching the video for Madeleine. And I said, every single time Kip Winger spins around, you got to take a drink. And we all finished like 2 beers in the span of the music video because he spins around like 17 times in the video. Hell of a singer, though. I actually saw him do an acoustic show in Vancouver, BC once. I don't remember how I even wound up at a Winger acoustic show, but I did. And
happens,
he was entertaining. He changed the lyrics to "She's only 17" to "She's only 33" because I guess that's what the math would have wound up being. So, Kip had a good sense of humor about himself, and he made it entertaining.
Yeah, well, that's good. All right, we got another bass player here.
Sweet.
I'm not quite familiar with. I don't think I know this band.
Clay Anthony, Junkyard? No, I'm not familiar. No, I'm gonna have to look that one up. I don't know Junkyard.
His pastime is tractor pulls.
What? I've never been to a tractor pull, so I can't judge. But hey.
I gotta read this. Junkyard bassist Clay Anthony is a man of relatively simple tastes. Give him a plaid shirt to wear, a baseball cap to put on his head, and a good monster truck tractor pull to watch, and he's one happy dude.
Oh yeah, he sounds like you got a party with.
But put his bass in his hand, and he's even happier. A fact proven by his work on Junkyard's hard-hitting debut LP.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to look up some Junkyard.
So I guess they came up with their debut LP like in '91, and that was just like the worst year for.
There was a lot of bands like that, man. Like bands like Tough, like TUFF, Tough, and Slick Toxic, and Danger. All these bands that came out at the tail end of that stuff. I don't know. It seemed like there was a lot of money spent on them that just kind of nobody ever got back.
All right, we got 2 more.
Cool.
One is an old school dude. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. There we go. Deep Purple, man. Like one of my favorites. One of my absolute favorite bands. Burn is one of my favorite songs of all time. Stormbringer is another one of my favorite songs of all time. I absolutely love Deep Purple. It's one of my favorite bands.
I'm a big Highway Star fan.
Highway Star's fantastic. Oh man, Fireball is super good. Speed King, like it just they were Sabbath gets a lot of credit for being one of the heaviest bands in the 70s, but Deep Purple were doing it too, man. They were one of the heavier bands in the 70s too.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right, and this last one, it's not a repeat. It's another pose from a band we've already mentioned, but you can see these other wacky dudes.
Wacky kids. Yeah, Janny still looks pretty whacked out of his skull there.
It wasn't a giant safety pin or something. No, that's his guitar upside down.
Yeah, he looks like he's on some hallucinogenics in that photo for sure. The last time I saw that look on my face, I was not on this plane of existence. That was a long time ago.
Well, there we go.
That was fun, man.
That's one pack of rock cards.
I didn't know those things existed. That's super cool.
Yeah, I bought like 3 boxes of these because I was like, I'm gonna complete the whole set, and I've got another it's like metal cards, like strictly metal.
Okay.
But they all came out the same time, and then there was like Like, they made trading cards for all kinds. There was the Yo MTV rap cards. I mean,
Yep.
in the early '90s, just all these different
Everything.
trading cards. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Everything, man. Whoa, where'd you go? Hey, it's just me. What's going on, everybody? This is kind of awkward. This is like that scene in Wayne's World where Wayne like gets up and gets mad at the producer and leaves, and it's just Garth. There we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't worry, I held the fort down for you.
Okay, thank you.
I was like, it's like that scene in Wayne's World where Wayne gets mad at the producer and leaves, and Garth's like left by himself, and he's just sitting there like.
Well, so I'm using a Mac, and the mouse. If you accidentally hit the mouse, it'll like go like back on because this is browser based.
Okay.
So like it'll like if you accidentally swipe it, it'll like go back on the browser.
Okay, well, I'm on a Mac too, so I'm not going to touch my mouse.
Yeah, there you go. But I like to keep these around an hour, and I've taken over an hour of your time already, Darren.
No worries.
So I'm gonna go ahead and let you say, anything I left out you wanted to tell the audience.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'd just like to say, everybody, thanks for sticking by Greyhawk through the pandemic, and thanks for everybody who's bought merch and bought albums, and allowed us to fund our touring that we have coming up. We have a lot of shows coming up real soon. We've got Fishy Fest this Saturday in Tacoma. We have we'll be in Portland next Friday. April 8th, we'll be in Medford for Medford Metal Fest on the 9th of April. We have a gig with Power Glove on the 29th of April at El Corazon in Seattle. We'll be in Chicago for Legions of Metal. We're really hyped on that. That'll be May 14th. We have a couple other shows I can't talk about yet. We also are going to be in Worcester. I think that's how you say it. Worcester, Massachusetts, for the first ever Stormbringer Metal Fest in June. So there's lots of rad shit coming up. And, thank you all for buying records, buying merch, and allowing us to hit the road and do what we love, because we can't do it without you. So fuck yeah.
I did buy the Wizard Is You t-shirt.
Awesome.
But I have so many shirts I couldn't find it. So I was like,
all
I'll wear a Skeletor shirt because I know
that works, man. It's badass. I like that shirt.
Thanks, man. It's not the best print. It's like some kind of computer shit. So it's probably going to last 1 or 2 washes before it starts to fall apart. But
yeah,
it's still fun. I got some interesting looks at the grocery store.
Fair enough.
So,
all right, man. Well, I appreciate you having me on here, giving me a chance to talk. It's too bad none of the other guys could make it, but their life happens.
Yeah, well, if there's any updates and they want to come on,
we can do this again, dude. This was a blast. This is actually one of the most fun interview shows I've done, because it's just a fun conversation and it's a cool format, and I dig it. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, man. Well, I was reminded that I wanted to interview you by talking to Jason, and so if Unleash the Archers, if they want to come on, I would love to have them on, or anybody else.
If you want to send messages out to people and name drop me and say, Darren said I should get you on and whatever, just feel free.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
And I'll let it, if I'm talking to them, I'll let them know. I'll give them a heads up about your show, because it's a good time.
So yeah, every Monday night, I say Monday night, next week it's going to be at noon my time, because I'm going to be talking to someone in Finland. So,
oh wow.
I interview bands and people from all over the world. Mm-hmm. So all genres of metal, and I keep it, like this. I keep it laid back. I like to, do, commentary over videos and talk about your releases and your shows and everything. And I'm glad that shows are coming back, and hopefully one day I can see you guys live.
Yep. It'll be great, man. I mean, I'm sure we're planning something West Coast-ish in the fall, so we might get down that way. You never know which route we're going to take, so sure. It might happen. I would love to. I'll keep you updated. But yeah, guys like you doing things like this, it for bands that are in the underground, it's a big part of the scene. I hope you and everybody else knows, interviewers and stuff. It can feel a little thankless sometimes, I know, but it's do it because you love it, and right. we as bands appreciate you, and it actually adds a lot to the scene. So you guys play an important part of making this whole heavy metal machine operate.
Well, I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it, man. And I wouldn't tell you I liked your band if I didn't like your band. So
appreciate it, man. And I wouldn't say I had a good time if I didn't.
So all the love there. All right, dude. Well, keep in touch, and I'll let you know if I come up there. You let me know if you come down here. And there's a good traditional heavy metal band here called Scroll Keeper.
Yep, I've heard that band. They're awesome.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
Yeah, they're home. They've been on the show a few times themselves. Cool. But yeah, because they're local to me, So I know those guys. But all right, dude, I'm gonna let you go. If you want to stick around, let me say a couple things, and then I'll tell you some more stuff.
Cool.
All right, stand by. All right, everybody, that was Darren from Greyhawk. Their Bandcamp actually has a list of all of their shows coming up. I don't know if you saw it when I shared the screen, but it was pretty small. But if you're in any of those areas, definitely go check them out. Great band. I really am thankful Darren came on today. They have a cool story. So next week I'm gonna have, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Ryogon from Finland. I know their real name, but their performer name is Ryogon. Again, I'm not sure if I'm if I'm saying that right, but it's a solo female artist. They were a poetry writer, and they decided they were going to put their poetry to music. And the songs and their videos are something I've never seen before. They're beautiful, and it's still metal. It's very metal, and it's very artistic and awesome. And I can't wait to have them on the show. It's going to be noon Central Time next Monday, April the 4th. So that's what is I'm going to have on the next Most Metal Monday night. It's going to be at noon, but you can watch it whenever you want. I'll be live streaming on YouTube and Twitch, and it'll always live on my channel. What else do I have going on? On Wednesday, the Houston Dash are back in action at PNC Stadium. So I'll be bringing you my vlog from that match. The weather might be a little crappy. We'll see how that goes. On Saturday, I'm going to Dallas for the Travel and Adventure Show. That could be a huge thing for me, guys. I got press credentials for that. So I'm going to take my good camera. I have it right here. I got my my Sony camera. Tomorrow, actually, that reminds me, tomorrow at noon, I'm premiering a video from the Kite Festival. And if you see this microphone, this microphone doesn't go to this camera, and it's a little too long, and it got in, like, the tip of it got in some of the shots. So I apologize for that. I don't use this camera very often, so I won't be using this microphone. But so tomorrow, Houston Kite Festival footage. Wednesday, I'm going to the Houston Dash match. Saturday, I'm going to the Travel and Adventure Show. Sunday is the second game for Houston Dynamo 2, so I'm going to that. And then next Monday, I have Ryokan. Again, I don't know if I'm saying that right, on the show. And then on next Tuesday, I'm going to San Antonio for the second round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup between San Antonio FC and Defeaters Kicks Soccer Club. They're like a pro-am team playing against next to top level team. So it's going to be an interesting thing. So there's a lot of content coming on. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Like this video and share it with your friends. So until next time, remember to drink water, listen to metal, enjoy nature, and have the most epic adventures. Yeah!